the idea behind this whole thing is, you
Yeah.
know, and I think I mentioned that to you before. I don't know of any other person beside you that into the AI in a very high level way, meaning
Right.
that you have a great understanding of it, not only in the theory part but in the
Mhm.
practical part of it.
Mhm.
And I believe that you are an asset,
Mhm.
and it's very timely.
Mhm.
You're an asset in the Caribbean right now, based
Mhm.
on what we are doing,
Mhm.
and and where I see the future.
Mhm.
I think it is important for persons and organizations like us
Mhm.
to partner to have more impact, not only in Grenada but the entire Caribbean.
Yep.
So based on where I am in terms of the reach that we have,
Mhm.
be it in in the schools, and not only in the schools, but we've been able to attract persons from Ghana, from Syria to come
Mhm.
and do coding in Grenada,
Mhm.
and the idea is to see how we could get more persons into that sector. But
Mhm.
how do we bring in AI? Because as you know, everybody
Mhm.
talking about Chat GPT, everybody talking about AI, and
Mhm.
I'm not an expert in it. You're an
Mhm.
expert in it. So how
Mhm.
do we partner and to introduce that program to the
Yes.
general public?
So yeah. So really, the whole thing about anything in terms of understanding things and getting the best of things is first to understand authentically how things work, right? So there's so much stuff happening going around with Chat GPT, generative AI. Everybody's talking about AI. We need AI. But if you ask people the question, what exactly is it, and how could it benefit or enhance your value in the workplace or life? Most people don't understand it. So the purpose of the applied intelligence course is A, to give people a clear understanding of what AI is, and more importantly, what it's not, what it can do, and what it cannot do. And ultimately, applied intelligence, right, is a methodology which brings together artificial intelligence with our human general intelligence. Because the mistake people make is that generative AI or applied intelligence, large language models, which is what generative AI runs on, is equivalent to human intelligence. It is not. Humans are humans, and we're dealing with a machine. What applied intelligence tries to do is show you how you can use artificial intelligence, okay, to work much faster. It's more task driven to get the answers you want. So you can take that and then bring in your executive decision making, which is your general intelligence, which is human intelligence, and combine artificial intelligence and general intelligence, which is authentically applied intelligence, to get results or to achieve things that you want to achieve. So for us, the whole thing about applied intelligence is to build strategies, right?
Okay.
That is really what, because at the end of the day, the most important thing, and strategy is agnostic, whether it's in business, in life, or in something, you can't do anything without a strategy, right? If you're driving from Toronto to New York, you need a strategy. Are you going to take these highways, this
Yeah.
highways? I'm going to map it out on my this is the actual. I've mapped it out on my GPS. My wife is telling me take this route. I'm saying take this route. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we have to agree on a strategy because we can't get there. So the whole thing about applied intelligence is not to get caught up in the fascination of artificial intelligence, the fascination of generative AI, the fascination of Chat GPT, which is essentially a chat box on steroids. Okay, the
Yeah.
machine doesn't know who you are. The machine doesn't understand humanity. The machine doesn't know any of these things. The machine is a programmed piece of software. It's programmed in on layers of data, and its answers are only based on that data.
Data. Got
General
you.
intelligence allows you to think about things, envision things, come up with solutions and all. You can't replace the humans. Okay, if you
That's right.
the more you understand artificial intelligence, the more you understand that once we get through the hype and the fascination, which has been going on for the last 50 years, it's just gotten more intense in October of 2022 when OpenAI came out with Chat GPT. So applied intelligence really is just to focus in on the things you need. And what we do with the software that we're developing is essentially prompt engineering. So we're gonna engineer to work with large language models to get the content, relevant content we need, right? In order to use that information to help our general intelligence build strategy. ChatGPT is all things to all people. It's a jack of all trades, master of none, right? So what ChatGPT does is everything, but it comes up with tons of useless information, and a lot of the stuff is wrong, right? So people
Yes.
get fascinated with the fact, oh, AI can draw pictures, oh, AI can pass an exam, oh, AI can do this. But what it is, it's making things up essentially. It's a predictor of the next word. So when it has this huge database, all it's doing is predicting the next word. It's not intelligent. It's a large language model. It's data stacking,
Yeah.
and it's a predictor of the next word. And it has millions and millions of pieces of data to allow it to work. And most of the engineers simply don't even know how what they build have worked. But what we're saying is we're not saying don't go and use ChatGPT and don't use AI. What applied intelligence is saying, go and take what you need, right? Like go and take what you need in order to serve the purpose of building strategy for yourself, your organization, your business, or whatnot. So the course, the applied intelligence course, really is to give you an understanding of how you can use artificial intelligence to your benefit. How in the future of work can you be able to work with, let's say, artificial intelligence with your general intelligence to enhance your value in the workplace, right? Because what's definitely going to happen, AI will definitely replace some jobs.
Of
But
course.
if you position yourself out of fear, and if you're basically trying to compete against the machine, you can't compete against the machine. So the idea of applied intelligence is to use, you're smarter than the machine, is to use the machine to get the information it wants in order for you to do your job better. In order for
Awesome.
you, if you got a project, right? If you had a project, let the machine do the heavy lifting. Let you set the prompt engineering, in terms of what we would do on the context of what you're trying to build. So let's say you're trying to build it's an area of agriculture in Grenada or whatnot. So maybe you use data science, AI to go out there and look at the demand side of the market, where the demand is, and then you use AI to look at the supply side in terms of what equipment to use, the best way to do it. You look at other models around the world that has been successful. You look at other models that have failed, right? And then you take that content, okay, and you use your general intelligence, and you come up with a strategy and recommendation for your organization and whatnot in record time. Okay,
Understand.
that's what applied intelligence does. So applied intelligence, allows you to apply your general intelligence by using artificial intelligence to extract the content rich information that you need relevant to what you're doing in order to get the job done, right?
Gotcha.
And that's really what the course will help the person understand. I know that was
You
long, but I needed to.
no, it made a lot of sense to me, and it's kind of funny you use an example in agriculture, and I
Mhm,
remember about 3 years ago I did
mhm,
a course
mhm,
in data in agriculture, data
mhm,
science in agriculture,
mhm.
and I could see how AI could actually um, use can be used in agriculture, not only on the demand supply side and the business side, but also on the side where the soil type, be it the soil
Yes,
type, be it the GPS location, be
yes.
it the way you get the most how fertile is certain soil, and and certain location on the island. For example, people will tell you, people in the sector will tell you, if you plant in watermelon, you will get a better um, a better harvest if you plant more to the southern part of the island. That's I think it's Mount Egmont. No, not Mount Egmont. That's Mount Hartman.
One
Mount
Hartman,
Hartman
yes,
actually gives you more watermelon, bigger
yes,
watermelon than any other part of the island. Dashins and yam, you may want to go to Brush Grove. So certain areas give you more. Calice, if you're looking at plums and sugar apple, So it's about mapping where you get the
yes,
best harvest, the best
yes.
soil, where you get the
Mapping.
most waterfall,
Yep.
where you have clay soil, where you have more humus soil, and that information could be mapped, could be analyzed using AI. So when somebody thinking about doing anything, be it sugarcane, whatever they think about planting, that's where AI could be implemented. My
100%.
listening to you, what I'm hearing here is how, and I'm trying to come out, expose what you are doing to the students in Grenada, to the people in
Yes,
Grenada, because sometimes we are left behind in terms of technology. We are
yes,
left behind in terms of upskilling ourselves or
yes,
retooling, reskilling ourselves. So
yes,
my idea is, how can we introduce your
yes,
course to the schools, to the
yes.
colleges, and
Hmm.
to persons who actually adults who are looking to reskill and retool themselves for tomorrow's job.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and that's something that I'm pretty much excited about. And the sooner we can, actually come together and say, okay, fine, let's do a press release. Let's come and let people know that your company, together with Caribbean Coding Academy, will be, partnering to provide courses in AI,
Hmm.
and the benefits of that, especially to our secondary school students
Hmm.
who basically could have a better understanding of AI. And because at the end of the day, what we want to do is to build an
Yes,
ecosystem where an ecosystem based on knowledge, based on
yes,
information technology, where
yes.
persons could say, okay, fine, you know, based on the information that we are sharing with them, be it software development, be it AI, be it data science, now they could actually be the future scientists on the island. So
100%.
yeah, so we could attract more. We could build a hub of knowledge, because
Yes.
I think that's where it starts.
No,
And we
no,
have
I
so
agree.
many testimonials on that. I think Israel was able to do the same. Costa Rica was able to do the
Yes.
same.
Yeah,
And so the question is, let's come together
yeah,
as Grenadians,
yeah.
you in Canada, myself in Grenada here, and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Bring exposure to these technology to our young people, not only in Grenada but in the Caribbean,
Yep.
and see how impactful that could be, and
Hmm.
what kind of positive outcome could be
Hmm.
derived.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the
Hmm.
idea is to build a tech hub in Grenada.
Yeah.
That
Funny, I agree with you 110%. And two things I want to make note before I forget. What you described, and you mentioned Israel, that's exactly what Israel does. And Israel now has a tiny piece of land in the Middle East, a desert, is the number one fruit and vegetable supplier to Europe, all
that's
with
right.
greenhouses. So what you've described is what Israel done, but you got to go back, even to the Prime Minister, I think Shimon Peres, who built exactly what you're asking for, a knowledge hub, technology hub, and all of those things came out of that. And I want to go back to also what you said about using AI to map. So this is my whole thing about applied intelligence. We're going to use entrepreneurial, spirit. We're going to use people who farmers who have their own entrepreneurial ideas, right? And we're going to take artificial intelligence. We're going to use it in application to what we want, what those farmers want to achieve. So when you talk about a farmer has an idea, so let's say you use applied intelligence and you use artificial intelligence, data science to find out there's demand for, let's just use your example, demand for watermelons in southern France. for example, in holiday, in the Riviera, in the season when when a lot of vacationers come or whatnot, right? So if we use technology and AI to find that demand and identify that demand, then we can also use AI to help map where's the best place to grow. Where's the soil the most nutrient? Okay, what are the characteristics of that soil, the sun, weather patterns, right? In order to grow that. The other
That's
thing
right.
we can, yeah, the other thing we can do is we can use that soil. We can also build greenhouses. Maybe we can stack them,
Yeah.
right? In order to see how much production we can get. So we can now, that entrepreneur now, who can get assistance from the hub, can go directly to the French Riviera, that southern part of France or whatnot, and say, we can supply you with this watermelon of this caliber, and we can do this. Because with AI too, and even the greenhouse models, you can essentially know exactly what your production level is, you know what you're going to get, and you can guarantee, and you can sell that via future contracts or whatnot. So that's how you use it. So the AI is not, it can't replace the human, because the human still has to come up with the idea, they have to grow, but we can use AI to enhance via research our ability to produce better and become more profitable, right?
I agree with you
Yeah,
100% on
but
that.
you got to introduce people, but people have to use technology, and we can't be 5, 10 years back, you know, like the Caribbean has always been, because the rest of the world is not waiting for you, right?
And,
You know
and
what I
and and
mean?
that's the key here. And the key here is that we always way back. I mean, fortunate enough, individual like us try to get our people up to breast with technology.
Yes.
I think in a lot of ways, even right now, currently, we are delivering coding in Guyana. And
Okay.
for some reason, I thought that Guyana was doing coding a long time ago, but that's far from, the reality of it.
Yeah.
In terms of Grenada, yeah, we are the first that delivering, Python and Java and C plus, into the secondary schools. I
Good.
don't know of any other schools in the Caribbean doing that.
Mhm.
Hence the
That's
reason
awesome.
why,
Awesome.
AI, if we could deliver your course into the schools, that would be awesome again.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
and because we have to lead from in front. We have to show that the Caribbean is not just job, Grenada is not just job, but there are people who on the island or people who live in outside of the island who are native of the island want to see better for this country.
Yeah. Of
Want to
course. Of
yeah,
course.
want to diversify the economy, want to build a hub in Grenada, a hub for STEM, for STEAM in terms of technology, in terms of data science and everything else that comes with it. And
Mhm.
and here's the reason why I jump at this opportunity. When you mention the course, and hey, I know it takes money to do a lot of stuff,
Yep.
but like everything else, when you have a new idea, a new concept, the strategy is always to offer it up free, and then
Yes.
build that following, build
Yeah.
that data that database, and then you could always try to get funding for it. Start with a fee and add to that.
Yep.
But I'm ready. I'm ready as soon as we
Yeah, I mean, I'm
decide to
I'm
come
ready.
together
I'm
and
ready
launch it.
now. I'm ready now. I mean, the course. You're right. The course. I'm doing this for two reasons. A, I'm giving the course for free. A, because as a Grenadian, I fundamentally understand that the future is with the young people, right? And if you don't invest in your young people, you have no future. Okay. Second of all, totally transparent. I'm an entrepreneur, right? And if my product is working, right, by giving it away for free and people are seeing the benefits of it, I can sell that I can sell that to corporations, organizations who can afford it, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So it benefits my country, and it benefits me as an entrepreneur, and I'm willing, to give my time with that course, wherever you need me in that course, because sometimes, and the wonders of how we're talking today of technology, I could make myself available. Once you see I think, I don't know if once you see the course, you'll be able to teach it
Yes,
yourself.
I saw the
But
outline of the courses.
yeah, but I'll be available, to do, via Zoom, via, Microsoft Teams, as we're doing now, in order to help teach the course. Because I think really what the course is what you've described. We want people to understand how best we can use artificial intelligence in order to enhance our own outcomes. And what applied intelligence does is really gives you a purpose in how you can use that and how you can apply that, to what you're doing. And applied intelligence is really not about piling people up with useless information. I think it was Trotsky said it's better to know a few good things in application for what you're trying to achieve than have a whole bunch of useless information. So, we look at Chat GPT now as just a whole bunch. It's fun. It's fascination, but a lot of it is a whole bunch of useless information. However, we're going to still use the technology to just take what we want in order to get the outcome we want. We have to be highly focused. And by understanding the applied intelligence way of thinking, I think you'll be able to produce better students in coding and computer science and data science, because data in itself and artificial intelligence in itself is not meaningful unless there's something purposefully that you can apply it to. It's like, you're a math guy, so it's like the difference between applied mathematics and pure mathematics. Pure
Gotcha.
mathematics is it's fascination, it's academic, it's all that stuff. Applied intelligence, like, as you know, like calculus tells you, when you apply calculus, it explains the world, it explains the universe. There's
Yeah.
calculus in everything, right? So if you want to look at it, applied intelligence is more like applied, and I use the word for a purpose. It's applied mathematics. So how do we, and everything is mathematical thinking in order to achieve. So I think you can develop better engineers, and if we can have a culture of students coming out of our school system, even starting in the elementary and secondary schools, with STEM and science and mathematics, man,
Well,
Grenada could be the
I
next
think that's,
Singapore.
yeah, I think that should be our goal. And I know for a fact that's my objective, is to build a ecosystem of knowledge, a knowledge ecosystem.
Yep.
Because we have to start from somewhere, and that somewhere have to be us in the school, in the
Yes.
primary school, in the secondary school, in the junior colleges. We have to
Yes.
introduce these young people to technology,
Yeah.
with regards to the software development, the coding, the AI, the
Hmm.
data science. We have to make sure that you know that they are not left behind, because
Yeah.
it seems to be a problem of a generational problem. Leaders are not doing what it's supposed to do. So we, as individuals who are very how should I put it, progressive, we have to take the lead.
Yeah.
My
I agree.
my idea here is that, how do we do it? Because for me, my personal experience on the ground in Grenada, yeah, some conversation, some people cannot relate to it,
Yes.
and you may want to bring it to an individual who might be a policymaker, and for some reason, just the idea of the languages you're using, and the conversation you're having,
Yeah.
is a fear to him or to
Yes.
her.
That's the
So
Caribbean.
person like us have to make sure that we take the lead on that.
Yeah.
Additionally, though, just for, I know we are recording this,
Mm.
but I just want to give individual, I just want people who may get to listen to this, give them an idea about you. I know you just wrote your book on AI,
Yeah.
And so can you tell me something about your book,
Yeah.
and just briefly,
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
company, because I
Yeah.
would like to share this video with
Yeah.
your
No
permission.
problem. No problem. First of all, before I answer that, um, when you ask how we get started, I've always been a believer, let's just do it. So we're just going to get started. So I'm going to send you the course. There's some things that I haven't done. There's some recordings that I needed to do, but forget about that. I'm going to send you the course and let's go. You're gonna simply introduce the course, sign kids up, and let's do it. Once
Awesome.
we start being successful, don't worry, the politicians will come.
Yeah,
They'll come
let's
and look
create the
for the
value.
credit. Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
let's
come look
create
for
the
the credit.
value.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and to me, I don't care who gets the credit as long as we're succeeding and the students are succeeding. I'm good. So we're just going to get started. As soon as we get off this call, I'm going to send
Yeah.
you the course, and you're
Yeah.
going to tell me how you want to organize it and when you need me to participate, and we'll go from there. Um, so yeah, so my book is called AI, which is Applied Intelligence, a Renaissance in New Thinking for Caribbean Prosperity in the 21st Century. That's a mouthful, but the book really is just the first part of the book starts off with a little bit more technical in terms of explaining what data science is, what artificial intelligence is, and how we can apply that, how we can apply that and apply systems to our own lives, to our own economies, in order to prosper in the 21st century. Because the problem we have now, and the book also is a historical look at things, because history is always your best. History is data, so history is always the best way to look things and put things in perspective. So the whole thing about technology, if you look at, let's take a look at the industrial revolution in the 19th and 20th century, um, when colonization was, sort of at its peak. At that point in time, Britain was engaged in the Industrial Revolution. The Caribbean was just used for raw material, free labor, and all that raw material was sent back to Britain for manufacturing, trade, and commerce, and that's where all the wealth. That's how Britain created us all as well. You think Buckingham Palace was created by anything else but the Caribbean wealth and wealth from Africa and the slave trade and all those things. So that's how it was created. So the Caribbean never, let's focus on the Caribbean. The Caribbean never prospered or never was involved in the Industrial Revolution. And if you look at history and you look at time over a 1,000-year period, you see not participating in major events in history, particularly in industrial revolutions, right? Can set your country back and your region back a minimum of 100 years, right? When you go through the data, you'll see that. So my big concern is that we're now in what we call the fifth industrial revolution, where now it's artificial intelligence, data science, which is engaged in human intelligence, which represents the future of work. So if we miss this other piece, so the Industrial Revolution was all about technology too, new machines and stuff, productivity and all that. It's the same thing. It's just now, instead of hard machines, it's just more soft machines, right? So what the book is trying to do is to give people a new paradigm of thinking, of how to think, to apply their human intelligence, right? So apply their human intelligence to the tasks, to the value creating tasks that they need in order to build their own lives and in order to build their economies. So in
Got you.
order to achieve, you can't have the same old thinking, because if
There
the
you go.
same old thinking was working, you wouldn't be in that position. So
There you
applied
go.
intelligence gives you a methodology, factual data-based analysis in order of how to move the Caribbean forward, which requires a new paradigm, a renaissance in thinking. And the reason why I use the word renaissance, if you look in the 14th century, 15th century, when Europe went through its whole renaissance of engineering and mathematics and all that kind of stuff, that moved it forward, right?
There you go.
So we have to have our own renaissance in thinking to remove the Caribbean from the bottom rungs of the universe in order to move it forward. So that's what the book is about, and I'm going to plug it. You can buy it on Amazon, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, the briefly, Douglas Blackwell. Douglas Blackwell is simply a company. Douglas Blackwell, our tagline is applied intelligence, and we build strategies. So we build strategies for corporations, for individuals, or whatnot, using data science, using applied intelligence, right? So we use data science in order to be factually correct in regards to building strategies for businesses. And we have some specializations in whether it's in IP development, some compliances. I have some members on my team who focuses on international law, IP development and all those. So we do a lot of industrial engineering where somebody has a business idea, where we look with private equity companies where they have a business idea, but we'll look into the idea. We sort of re-engineer it to see if there is enough demand out there in the market in order for the investor to invest in those particular ideas. So that's what Douglas Blackwell does as a
Awesome.
business, and
Okay.
our tagline is applied intelligence, and that's what our software, which is coming. Let me just quickly mention that is called AP3. And AP3 is essentially strategy building software combining data science, applied intelligence, and human intelligence in order to get the best outcomes for organizations and enterprises. So it's an enterprise-based piece of software, and we think it can. We are looking at it in 5 years to be a $1.5 billion market valuation, and I'm trying to. My objective is to IPO that. So I'm not thinking small, because why should I?
There
Right?
you go.
Can't let the white guys have all the fun.
So the question, okay, so hence the reason why I needed to make sure that persons get a good understanding of Perry Douglas and
Yes.
what your background is,
Yes.
things you would have done and what your vision is.
Mhm.
You mentioned the Caribbean vision, and to be honest with you, there's a new awakening, and I just want to touch on that
Yeah.
because I am seeing similarities. There's a new awakening in Africa,
Yes.
especially Niger and France,
Yes.
and there are so many countries in West Africa right now that is deciding, hey, we need to make sure that we break that cycle of
Yep.
holding,
Dependency.
well, yeah, dependency, and not only dependency, but having to send the raw material to
Yes.
France,
Yes. Yes.
develop France, while they live, a miserable life.
Yes. Yes.
No proper drinking water, no medical for them, no shelter for them. I mean, their lives are just horrible, you know, and all the raw material is being sent to these countries. But again, thank you for this opportunity. Let us, what we're going to do, I will share this information,
Yes.
send me a link of it, and
Mhm.
then I will try to get you a partnership agreement right away.
Perfect.
And then what I would like to do also is make a public announcement,
Sure.
a
100%.
press release.
100%.
Um,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
thank you
Perfect.
once again,
No
and
problem.
looking forward to working with you.
All right. Let's make it happen, man. That's the only way it's gonna happen, if we make it happen.
No, it will happen. It will happen.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
And I'll send you the
Yeah.
course right away. But yeah, let's
And
get moving and let's keep the momentum going.
send me a copy of the recording, please.
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that right away with
All
the
right. Thank you.
yeah, okay, cool. All the
All
best.
right.
We'll talk later.
All the best. Take
Okay,
care.
cool. Bye-bye.
All right.